Good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is for you. I hope you're having a fantastic day. My name is Zach Schomler, and joining me today is a longtime friend of mine, Connor Neville. He's a former Washington State quarterback, and you just finished up at Eastern. Is it East or Eastern?
So that's the thing. I got confused when I first got there, and I signed. Everybody that's not from Mississippi thinks it's Eastern Mississippi.
Yeah.
And I actually, when I had my commitment post, I said I want to commit to Eastern Mississippi instead of East Mississippi.
East Mississippi Community
Yeah,
College.
I got so much crap from my teammates for that.
We'll get into it down the road, but that's, if you don't know, that's where the Last Chance U filmed their first and second season. I can't wait to get into scuba, what the heck it's like.
Yeah.
Buddy Stevens. I really want to start here, though. The one thing I really take very seriously is that when I'm wrong, I want to jump into it and acknowledge it and own it.
Yep.
And I don't know that I'm wrong here, but you have a different opinion of me on something, and you're much more informed than I am on this person. I made a video the other day. You're going to laugh at the title. I said, Anthony Gordon is fool's gold. Which is it's brutal. I said my opinion. I don't believe he's going to succeed in the NFL. But if anybody is equipped that I know to call me out on my opinion on Anthony Gordon, it's you, a former teammate of his, a guy who played with him. Yep. And we were talking, and you're like, man, you're wrong. So tell me, why do you think Anthony Gordon is going to succeed at the next level?
Well, first of all, I want to say that a lot of people think that Washington State quarterbacks are just good every year because of Mike Leach.
Yeah.
Because obviously Mike Leach has a great offensive mind, and he's obviously been around for a long time.
Yes.
But I think it's just a product of what guys put in work in the offseason. That's the thing that nobody sees. And the thing that I saw was, I could relate with Gordo, is I never really had an opportunity, and Gordo was kind of played around with for a while.
Yeah, he was a backup for years.
Yeah, he was a backup, and he was doing Thursday Night Football up until probably this
Explain
past
that.
year.
What is Thursday Night Football? That's the scrimmage on Thursday night?
Yeah, so it's for guys that don't really travel or play a whole lot. They scrimmage on Thursdays, and man, just watching everything that Gordo does, every rep, it's just like, I'm going to win.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, oh crap, Gordo's up, you know?
So he's ultra competitive.
Dude, he's one of the most competitive people I've been around for sure. But it's just a testament of his hard work. Like, I've seen this man work so hard. Like, my first midnight maneuvers, which is like winter workouts, and it's like 2 weeks long. And it's used to be at midnight, but Leach had to change it to like
probably got
8
trouble
o'clock.
or something. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he got in trouble. I mean, midnight maneuvers in the winter. Come on, it's like -5 degrees.
You're like
outside.
walking through ice in Pullman to get the workouts.
Yes, like my first year midnight maneuvers, Gordo was getting. I remember he got a pink shirt once and a gray shirt, and then like this past midnight maneuvers that I did with him, he got blacks almost every day, which is unheard of, like for a quarterback.
So what is that? What's the color system? What does that mean?
So you got pink, gray, and black. So pink is like you're pretty bad, like you're not giving any effort. Gray is like, you know, you're kind of figuring your way out, like you're working pretty hard through each rep. But black is like every rep you take is 100%.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of guys that have that motor, like guys like Brandon Arconato, Abe Lucas, like those guys just pop out quick because those guys work so hard, and they take every rep seriously. And I think Gordo, just watching midnight maneuvers, I was like, wow, like
he goes hard. He
goes so hard. I mean, just the switch he had flipped in his head was incredible. I mean, he's basically just like in his head. To me, it was like, all right, well, Gage is here. I'm gonna play anyways. Yeah, he was, because I told him multiple times. I'm like, dude, if you get your shot, it's your job. Like I told him you're gonna do super well, and like I was there when Gage came in and everything too, and I was like, well, Mike Leach is starting to get into this groove of transfer quarterbacks. Yeah, so like Oregon.
For people that don't know, Eastern Washington quarterback Gage Gruber transferred into Washington State. So you had Trey Tinsley, Anthony Gordon, and Gage Gruber all kind of, there was like the three that might start. Yeah. And Gordon won the competition. Yes. It sounds like to me when the moment came, he rose up and he rose up to the challenge. Is that accurate?
Yes. I mean, Gage was an animal at Eastern Washington. I mean, this dude put up numbers. And the fact that Coach Leach started a guy who hadn't played it, like started it down in college football over someone that led like the FCS in passing, it just, that shows you that first of all, Leach knows what he's doing, having faith in his own guys, and second, it shows you how hard Gordo's worked, man. Like, I mean, this year is no surprise because he does at every practice. He made our defense look so bad. Like I just remember watching him, like, just like I told you, little things, Thursday night football, like little spring ball, fall camp. I'm just sitting there, I'm like, dude, if Gordo was able to take this over, especially the guys love him too. Like, he's just like Bay Area, like surfer dude, like super chill. Like, he has the leadership component, he has the work ethic, and I also think he has the mindset that most guys don't have when they're playing quarterback.
What's that mindset?
Dude, it's hard to explain. Like, it's own
it's a horrible
element.
Like a killer instinct. Like,
it's
there's an it factor.
Have you seen the movie Predator?
Yeah.
Like, that is his mindset. Kill. Like, just not like I'm gonna run somebody over, but it's just like
he turns it on.
Yeah, you just can't stop me.
That's cool.
And I just like he was getting talked on Bleacher Report the other day. I saw this article they wrote about him saying that he's the next Patrick Mahomes, and people are saying that that's so far-fetched. Actually, I don't really think it is. This man got drafted by the New York Mets to play baseball.
Gordon did.
Yes. And he chose to play football over that. If that doesn't show you his love for football, I don't know what does. Because he was a great baseball player too. He could have played professional. Now he has the chance to play professional both.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he went to junior college like I did. I respect him a lot, man. Like,
what's cool, it sounds like people don't know the story behind the scenes. He went to City College of San Francisco.
Yeah.
Was there for I think 3 years, right?
2 years.
2 years?
2 years.
2 years of junior college, then Washington State. Didn't play for a long time. Overcame a transfer coming in, beat out the transfer. Now I think he's got the best stats in the history of Washington State, correct? For a single season?
He's the Pac-12 record for the single season passing yards and touchdowns.
I can acknowledge that's phenomenal, right? Like, and he's fun to watch. He's great.
Yeah, you're beating guys like Matt Leinart, Matt Barkley, Luke Falk, Gardner, like just.
Yeah. So compare him to Gardner Minshew. I remember I was watching I made a criticism that kind of rings hollow because I said that I was broadcasting the Utah game. I was at Salt Lake City when Washington State played Utah. And my sideline reporter said, look, Desmond Patton's complaining about physicality. It's like, what do I do? And it seemed like everyone on the sideline gave up. And Mike Leach even called them out. That's like when he said everyone's fat, lazy, and stupid or whatever that quote was. And to me, what struck was Gordon was alone. He wasn't clapping and rah-rah. And maybe that's just his style. Gardner Minshew was very rah-rah, a leader. Like, what's it? So first of all, compare Gardner and Anthony Gordon. And then can we talk about what's Anthony Gordon like as a leader of a football team?
Right. Well, I can tell you from Gardner's perspective, he's very flamboyant. He's very vibrant. Like, everything.
You love him though, right? Like Gardner?
Oh, I love Gardner, man.
Yeah.
When I first went to summer, like, he just working out with him, he got
that southern twang, like
southern twang, all that. I mean, he kind of one of the guys over in summer though. When he first came in, he was working super hard.
Yeah.
He was just a really fun guy to be around, man. He was super nice, but he also works super hard.
Yeah.
But what you see is what you get from Gardner, basically. You see him on TV acting rowdy.
Yeah.
Like, he is that in person. Like,
well, the first time I met Gardner Minshew, and the only time, right? I shouldn't act like I'm his friend. I'm not. I met him one time on set at a Pac-12 Network show, and the quote he told me was like, "Man, life's an adventure, and I'm just trying to make the most of every moment." And I was like, "That's so cool, the way he lived his life." But you said something downstairs when I said, you said, I'm going to let you say the words. Compare Anthony Gordon and Gardner Minshew. What did you say about that?
Dude, I honestly don't remember what I had said.
You told me that you would take Anthony Gordon over Gardner. Is that true? Like,
I think in some circumstances.
Yeah.
When you look at both of them, obviously Gardner is just built really well.
Yeah, he works his butt off in the weight room.
Dude, he was cleaning some ridiculous weight. I'll show you the video on Twitter later. But when you see Gordo, he just like undersized, underdog.
But you don't need size at quarterback. That's the funny thing. Like,
but people, if you look at the eye test, they're both not the tallest guys either. But Gordo's a little bit on the skinnier side, but his arm talent is insane. Like, I cannot stress that enough. He has one of the best line motions and the best arm talent.
He does. Yeah.
I've seen a lot of arm talent, dude. Like, it's insane. Like, it's honestly next level. I have not seen a guy in person do that other than Patrick Mahomes.
That's awesome.
But okay, going back to what you were saying though, with why in my own opinion, I would pick Gordo is because, I mean, they have the same offense and stuff, but Gordo's just doing a little bit with his own flavor and his own style, and you can see the numbers that he's putting up. I mean, it's just amazing. His line obviously, like the line last year was incredible.
Yeah.
With Andre Dillard in there.
Yeah.
And who knows if Gordo was back there, but they're both my guys, man. They both work super hard, but I just like Gordo's competitiveness. I feel like I can relate to that because I'm the same way, which is why I feel like I would pick Gordo's because I feel like we're similar.
Yeah. He's got this edge that you love.
Yeah.
What's he like as a leader?
So that's the thing. That's interesting. I haven't seen it up close and personal.
You haven't been there when he was the leader of a team,
right?
Yeah.
But I was there when he was doing Thursday Night Football stuff.
Yeah. So he's in the huddle. He's at quarterback.
Yes.
That's an opportunity, whether you're the starter or not. When you're running the show, what is he like when he's running the show?
He's super assertive.
That's cool.
He puts himself out there. He makes himself stick out like a sore thumb. Like he's gonna call the plays. He's gonna audible confidently. Yeah, I just think that guy that just is super assertive and kind of was like, hey, I got you guys. Like just do your job and I'll take care of the rest.
So you think he succeeds at the next level?
Yes.
That's cool. That's awesome. Well, I'm excited to watch him. I haven't watched the film either. That's the other thing. Like, I'm telling you what I've seen through the year.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the film.
It's all up here. It's all up here, man.
Yeah.
In the NFL, honestly, I know a lot of guys that play in the league right now too.
Yeah.
It's all mental. You can be the biggest, like Hunter Renfrow. Come on, like.
Yeah. It's not about physical ability as much as it is what you put into the game outside of the field.
Right. If you're mentally like John Randall,
yeah,
it's like you don't have the stature or anything, but your mind is just in a different place. You're kind of crazy. That's cool. Yeah. I definitely think that he will succeed because he just has it up there as well.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for educating me. That's cool.
Yep.
Can we talk about, you have played for two extremely polarizing coaches. Like it's kind of bizarre actually.
Yeah.
Like how did you end up doing that? What is it like to play for Mike Leach? Like, what is he like to have him as your head coach?
Well, he's
the pause. Like, how do I answer this?
Well, I don't have. Well, I mean, I'm not really like one to hold grudges with people.
Yeah.
Because I had left. First of all, I left their program, and he didn't even tell me that. So like, I had changed positions or whatever at safety because we had too many guys at quarterback apparently.
Yeah.
And he had our quality control guy at offense tell me.
Yeah.
That I was switching. Yeah, but that's not his job to do that. But he can be really funny.
Yeah.
He's a very certain guy. He's super smart, man. Like he's one of the smartest offensive minds I've been around.
What makes him so smart?
I don't know if he just has that just natural instinct, man. Like I haven't really seen him like watch film on his own, but I would imagine that he does because he's the offensive coordinator and our quarterbacks coach. He kind of has to deal with all of us at one time. I think just natural instinct. I just think that in games he just has a natural 2 cents of like, all right, I'm gonna call play, but like I trust my guys that they put in the work.
Yeah.
That I can trust them to make an audible. But if they're not wrong, you best believe we're doing up downs when you get back to the sideline. But I just think the starter to head coach relationship is what makes him so unique.
Yeah. Like he picks one guy and just all in on that guy kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, sort of. That's not how it was with like Luke. When Luke was there and Tyler had played, sometimes I had to take him out.
Yeah.
I just think that if he has an insane amount of trust in his starting quarterback, which I admire because I want my coach to be able to trust me to call an audible. You watch all this film all week to not change something from what you see on film. Like if you get a first visual aid on the field, like I just think that's what makes him super smart. And in film, he just does so many little funny things, dude. Like I have endless stories of him just picking on guys or.
Is he? I've heard stories that in meetings he gets sidetracked. Is that true?
He'll get sidetracked. He'll have a play. So this is fall camp, dude. So my first fall camp, Tyler was sitting next to me. He's like, "You want to dip, man?" I'm like, "No, it's Gordon." He said, "You want to dip, man?" I'm like, "No," because he's like, "Well, you're gonna need to because you're gonna be in here for a while." This is my first fall camp film with him.
Yeah. You just got on campus.
We just got on at Lewis. No, we just got at Lewis and Clark, or not Lewis and Clark. But we got
Clark, whatever it is.
Yeah, the one in
Lewiston.
Lewiston.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You're gonna need one." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Dude, he gets so sidetracked. He talks for so long. You're gonna want to sleep, but don't sleep, man." And he does this all the time. he'll start talking about something. He'll like rewind the play, like the first part of it, like over and over and over while he's talking. And I don't know how he doesn't get sidetracked from doing that with the remote. Then he watches the full play and rewinds it while he's telling a story.
Oh wow! So he'll be talking about something totally different, but watching the play, like.
Yeah, and then the second fall camp I went to, he dips all the time.
He's
lower
always got
lip, lower lip pack, like, hello, like you can't understand what he's saying. And there's one time he had coffee in his spitter right here, and he grabbed his coffee cup and spat his dip in his coffee.
Oh no!
And drank it while he was telling the story. He didn't even realize that he had done that. He just gets so sidetracked.
He gets so into it, it sounds like.
Yeah, but his stories are so funny. Like, we went off one time. He was asking Tyler if he would, like, fight to the death, him or Kirkland Parker, one of our linebackers at the time. And Tyler was like, dude, I'm always going to win, coach. And they would just go on and on about stuff like that. It's like meaningless type stuff. But
that's part of what makes football fun, too, is that camaraderie.
Yeah, it just endless stories with them. Yeah.
And you don't have to answer this if you don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
Do players like him or do they respect him or both? Because I know that some of the guys I've talked to, there are some guys that don't like him, and that's just how he is. Like, what's your feel on that?
You have to respect the man.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, my teammates respect Coach Leach. He's done a tremendous job with that program. Now, being personable, he's not really one-on-one type of guy, and I realized that. That's not his style, but kids my age kind of want to like act like he hates me or he just trying to do his job. He's just trying to get paid. However you feel about the man, he's just trying to get the next check. You know, I mean, he's smart and you never do something that you're good at for free, and he obviously is really good at football. Yeah. But my opinion really doesn't matter of how I feel about him.
Yeah, I just personal opinion aside.
But I do respect him as a coach. I think
That's cool.
He's tremendous. And he'll take any program and turn him into a really solid team.
Yeah, I mean he's done that with Texas Tech to Washington State.
Yeah.
How about Buddy Stevens? He's a legend, right? Do you like him? Do you get along with him? What's it like to play for Buddy Stevens at East Mississippi?
Well, the first time I had stepped on campus, I didn't even talk to this man when I committed and stuff.
So how'd you get enrolled? Like who talked to you?
So there's just one of our GAs found me on Twitter, and I was like, I don't want to go JUCO, and then I hadn't got really anything at that time, so I was like, well, I guess I can go to the #1 junior college in the country.
Absolutely.
Which brought me down there, but going back to Buddy, he's. I have so many things to say about Buddy, but I'm trying to keep it brief. So he is very like Gardner. He's from the South. He's from Mississippi. Yeah, I mean those guys are pretty put themselves out there. I would say. Yeah. What you see on the show is really how Buddy is. And
the good and the bad, probably.
You get a lot of the good. I mean, when you're a player for him, you get a lot of that almost every day, but. He coaches our offensive line, and I'm really glad I do not play offensive line because going through that every day. We would be so.
He cares though, right? Like
he cares. He cares for the players. No, he definitely cares for the players. Like it's junior college. That's your job. Even though regardless of the bank count or however much you make, like it's always for the kids at JUCO. He gets paid a lot for sure, but there's times where we'll be in our meeting room and he'll be like 20 feet away, just screaming at the O-line. I'm like, oh man, I feel so bad for those guys. But it's like after every practice when we're doing film, it's just like screaming. But then it's always like, hey man, like I love you, like you're my guy. Like I wouldn't have brought you here if I didn't think you were good.
It comes from a place of love,
right? I mean,
he's hard on guys, but it's stern because he wants you to succeed, right?
Yeah, I mean, when you see the background these guys come from, it's like you want them to succeed so bad. Yeah. And he has every good intention with these kids. He's a great guy too off the field, man. We had some pretty funny conversations too.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
I like hearing that because you see the show and he seems really hard, but also like you get where he's coming from. He's trying to straighten out these guys and trying to. It's hard to build a program, and what he's done is so impressive, winning as much as he has. How about East Mississippi in general? I mean, you're from Portland, Oregon, roughly, Wilsonville, whatever.
Yeah,
and you end up in Scuba, Mississippi. Is there a Walmart there? Is there even a Walmart?
No, the Walmart's like 50 miles away.
That's right. No, so I talked to Brandon B from.
Yes.
He went to Independence and played for the other guy.
Right.
And he said that the crew of Last Chance U was so happy to be at Independence. That's what it is now. He said because Independence had a Walmart, and they were like, "Oh, we got a Walmart at this school." Like,
yeah, exactly. Like, there's nothing within like a 50-mile radius. Like Meridian is a local place that
I
guys
saw you went and got
from.
like food there a couple times. Right?
Yeah, Meridian, and then I never go to this place in Macon, but it's like also like really far, and there's like a McDonald's.
You're an hour away from civilization, basically.
Yes, I mean it's just you. Okay, in Scuba there's like a Dollar General. That's like our 7-Eleven, and then I have a couple gas stations, and that's about it. Yeah.
What do people do? Is it just football then all the time? Is it a pretty focused space?
Not when I was there. I mean, really, from what I learned, it's just like football. In the summer, it was football, sleep, and then school, sleep, football, and then school and sleep. Like it should make guys super serious, but just the camaraderie of the team this year, we were super young. We just didn't mesh together. In our record shows, why. Yeah. But those guys are really cool. I love my Mississippi boys.
Who's the most talented person you played with? And you can name a couple guys. You don't have to pick one. It's like picking children, I know. But who are the guys you played with that you're like, that dude was a stud?
Our starting Z receiver, Jason Brownlee. Yeah. He is one of the most athletic guys. I mean, he's not fast. He's not the quickest. But, man, he's so athletic, and he is just a dog mentality. Like, I'm going to score every play. I've never had, like, a super strong connection, like, with someone like him. We were always on the same page. Like, me and Johnny, obviously, but, like, me and him had a super good connection. Like, fade routes, always knew I was going to throw to him. Always knew on, let's say, 3rd and 5, and you have an out and up on the backside, and we're on the right boundary, and it's a cover 2 beater. He knows that he's going to have to run a hole shot because the corner's going to jump, but we throw flats so much. He's going to have to convert it to a hole shot. He's going to have to look early. And it's just a little, just drill him on the sideline and little stuff like that. Reaches for the sticks. Run.
He understands situationally where to be, and he knows defenses, it sounds like.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that. I love Jason.
I don't know about that.
If Jason's watching this video, if he ever watches this, I love Jason, but he probably doesn't know cover 2, cover 3. Yeah. But man, he definitely knows how to adjust his routes when he sees defenders in space. He just has really good
like
awareness.
A natural feel.
Yes, and then we also have this kid named Terrence Cherry, who's one of our defensive linemen. This kid ran what I've heard from his teammates in high school. He ran like a 4.4, 4.3, like high 4.3, and he plays D line. He's like 6'1", like 250 probably, but he's like an Aaron Donald, honestly, and he does work really hard. He's just so raw, dude. Yeah. A lot of those guys are just so raw, and when they get to the next school, man, it's gonna help them so much, man. Yeah, yeah.
Let's go from guys who are really raw to someone who I think is my favorite probably receiver to watch in college football. Mm-hmm. It's Aesop Winston Jr. He's Aesop
Winston.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yes.
Aesop Winston Jr. is so skilled. I don't know that he's the most physically talented, but he's so technically sound. Yeah. What is his work ethic like? What's it like to watch Aesop Winston Jr.? Because to me, he's a big deal.
When I first got there, he was on scout team with me.
Yeah, he's nobody, right?
He was nobody, and we work. So the guys that don't travel work out on Friday mornings. We had Jason Lascaux, who's the weight coach for the Bears right now. He's the head strength coach there. Yeah. He told Aesop one morning after we got in trouble that he wasn't going to be anything. He wasn't going to start. And I was just like, looking at Aesop. Aesop was like, all right, like I'm taking it, but like I'm flushing out the other ear. Yeah. And his work ethic, but man, he just has a knack for getting open. Like,
he runs great routes. Oh my gosh.
He's one of the best route runners I've ever seen. And when you're at a team full of amazing receivers at Washington State, you see a lot of really good guys. He is one of the best route runners I've ever seen. He's like a Jerry Rice.
Literally.
Doesn't have the intangibles, but like his routes are so crisp and his hands are so big and they're so firm and they just catch everything. When you get a guy like that.
Yeah, I talk about him all the time, and like it's kind of funny how much I refer to him. Like I was talking about Tom Brady today, and about how like I really respect Tom Brady for not being the most talented, but figuring out what can I work on and use, like what can I control, right?
Right.
Aesop has done such a good job saying, I can't control my height. I'm not going to run a 4.4, but the things I can control, my route running ability, the way I adjust to a ball, like can I catch everything thrown in my direction? I can. Everything he can control, he dominates. It's so cool to watch. Like from a national, I'm a national show. I don't talk about Washington State sports, but I refer to him all the time. I'm so impressed with him.
Yeah, I remember when we played Utah last year, Gardner threw that 89-yard bomb to him for a touchdown, and normally we don't throw a fade on that. I'm pretty sure it was like an out-and-out play, one of the some plays that we call, and he took a shot at Aesop, and just Aesop is not fast. Like that guy should have caught to Aesop, but just the way he just juked him and just made him miss, and just the route that he ran, dude, it just. Aesop has it, man.
I was there. I was filming for Pac-12 Network. They're like their live show after the game outside of the stadium, and they had Aesop come on set, and he was talking about like, man, he was like kind of crying, and it was so beautiful to hear this guy talk about how far he's come and how happy he was to be there. I was like, this is so cool. A guy who he went to school with Anthony Gordon at City College in San Francisco, a JUCO product who he was there for 3 years actually at City College because he like gray shirted, then 2 years, and then got to Wazoo. Like his story is so inspiring to me. Aesop's just awesome.
Dude, he's one of the most genuine people I've ever met my whole life. Like he's like almost like he reminds me of like in a sense like Tyler. Like when you talk to him, like you just want to be friends with him. He's so nice. Like you can't hate Aesop. Like he's really goofy, but he's also a really good friend, and he's a really awesome dude. Yeah.
I mean, let's just go into that. I know you brought up Tyler. A couple years, how many years ago now? When did Tyler die? Is it 2 years now?
Yeah.
So 2 years ago, Tyler Holinsky took his life. And if you know me, you know my story. You do, Connor. My brother also took his life 3 years ago. And suicide is a huge deal that I don't think enough people talk about. The suicide hotline is 1-800-273-8255. I don't even know I have a question really. There's not really a right way to talk about suicide. It's just a big deal.
Yeah.
Can you talk? Is there anything you want to share about Connor? I don't know how to even frame a question that does it justice to that.
Yeah.
But I know how much Tyler meant to you, and how much it meant to the entire community. Is there anything you just want to say about Tyler?
Yeah, he was when I first got to Washington State. Actually, we were assigned Big Brothers. I don't think they did that program when I like the year after, but when I was there, you got assigned an older guy, and he was my big brother. So he kind of showed me around campus, showed me what it was like to be a quarterback in college. Like, he gave me my first dip too. Like, just
a great dude.
Great.
I got to meet him once. He's so nice.
Yeah, like I want to take a dip from anybody else, but like Tyler's just he had a way of just making you want to do things too that you didn't want to do. He just was just an awesome dude, man. But a lot of men or young men that are going through that phase of becoming like a grown man, what most kids say, everybody goes through something. I've been at that place too before. And I think it's just super important to like talk about it because, oftentimes like you feel like you don't want to talk about it with anybody. You feel embarrassed.
Yeah.
Like I've honestly just thought of I've been thinking of Tyler so much too because of the season, and like just I wore a 3 on my wrist for him every single game too.
Well done.
Yeah, and just he's just such a great soul, man. Like I don't care how tough you are. Like I would rather have saved someone's life than act like a tough guy. Screw that, man. Like I want to see all my friends succeed in life, have a long life, have a family, and just the impact of someone's life being taken away, it's a lot greater than what people think. It kind of rips the whole community heart. It's like part of its heart away. I know that when he passed, that our community did an awesome job. Pushing the suicide and all of that. I think that's awesome.
Making it aware and talk about it.
Right, but there's still part of feeling missing.
Yeah, it never goes away. No, I mean, let me tell you, especially things like Thanksgiving or Christmas or my brother's birthday is December 14th. That day's hard for me because you're like, it never goes away. Like, and I'll even say this, like, you never will not miss Tyler. I'll never not miss Zane. But eventually, like you stop, like at Thanksgiving, this is the first year actually at Thanksgiving since Zane died that I was like, instead of missing Zane, I can be thankful for the moments I had with him, you know? Right. But it's so hard. I mean, you know, I do a segment on my show, every episode, every hour, I talk about how if you're struggling, go get help. And it's so sad when, like my brother never told anybody he was having a hard time. Yeah. I just found my brother dead on the floor one day. And like, that's miserable and that's sad. And so I encourage anyone listening, if you're having a hard time, go get help. Yes. And that's what you were speaking about is I think some people, we feel this, it's hard for people to be vulnerable. Right. And I don't want to care. I don't have an idea. Can I ask you a question? He did have this nickname. You called him Clink. Yeah. What the hell is that? Honestly, in the best way. Like, that's cool.
Honestly, the older guys gave him that nickname, but I'm pretty sure just like his just like awkward body. I guess that's what I think. But he called me C Money. I called him T Sizzle. Like, that's awesome. He called me C Money when he first met me. Like, he's like the super like generic white guy. Like, hey man, what's up? Like,
you're C Money.
Yeah, C Money. He's like, I'm like, all right, T Sizzle. Like, it wasn't like anything serious, but like, I mean, he's just like great. He just was a phenomenal guy, man. Yeah. I mean, the fact that you can call someone like Z Sizzle and like it not be weird, like man to man.
He's totally cool.
It's just awesome. Yeah, he's a great guy, man.
You were there. I was there on the side. I was working for Fox Sports when this happened. He had a triple overtime victory over Boise State. It's like the coolest moment I've ever been on the field for at Washington State. What was that like? Do you have any memories of that game?
Yeah, I mean, I remember.
So Luke Falk got taken out, right?
When Luke got taken out, he threw a touchdown pass to Jameer. I'm like, all right, we have the ball rolling a little bit. Then he throws an out route to Jamal backside and coming into the crim zone. Yeah. And then when he threw that swing pass to Jamal, I was like, no way.
We're gonna make this happen.
Because Max Borghi might have taken that in a little cleaner. Yeah. But Jamal has a knack for just always just getting in the end zone. Yeah. And when that happened, I was like, dude, it's just phenomenal, man. Like he got put in just bullets flying when we really needed that win, and it really helped us.
He stepped up, and just you love to see moments like that. And I just think that stuff like that like was meant to happen, like for us to like have a little remembrance of him, or like when his brother beat Georgia in third overtime by 3, being the number 3 team in the country. Yeah, just little things like that happen for a reason, and it was honestly more than the memory of the game. It just like the memory of like he did something substantial for us. And he'll always be remembered by that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. How about Max Borghi? I've really, and this is I don't know if this is a fair comparison, but I see like Christian McCaffrey is so incredibly skilled in the receiving game, and so is Max Borghi, the running back for Washington State. What is his skill set in your opinion, and what is he like off the field? He seems like he works incredibly hard. Yeah. He's a great leader in that locker room. What are your thoughts on Max Borghi?
So like as a player, so I was told, I forget who told me, but him and Christian actually trained with the Denver Broncos strength coach, but he trained
not a shock
in Colorado together, obviously. Yeah. And he said at their same time in high school, Max is not even close. Max is way better. I think if Max had gone to like a Stanford and started, I think he could have done the same thing that Christian McCaffrey did. If you look at Max,
I think Max plays in the league. I think Max is NFL caliber running back.
Yeah, but people don't realize that because of the system he's playing in right now. But he can do everything.
They don't see it.
To me, he's a true ground and pound running back. Yeah. And then
it kind of does him an advantage too because he's not getting hit as much in college. Like he'll go to the NFL more fresh than other guys. Like Leonard Fournette got beat to hell at LSU. Max isn't getting that. He's basically a receiver who can run.
Yeah, and then they have a backup, Deion McIntosh, who's from, East Mississippi, can split reps too with Max, so it helps him get fresh. But as a person, Max is the funniest, goofiest guy I've ever met, man. Like super, like if you think like I was saying, Tyler's like white guy. Like he's like super like, hey man, what's up? Like, I'm from Colorado, dude. Like, he's so funny. Like he's so genuine. You would think that a guy like him would just act like a total jerk to everybody, but he's super nice and funny to get along with.
Because he played as a true freshman. I mean, he has been a starter. He'll be a 4-year starter there.
Yeah.
What is I really like. There was a moment after the Utah game. I think it was him that was like, he said, "We got to be better." Like he called out their locker room. I really loved that from him. I was like, man, this dude is not afraid to say we got to be better.
Right.
Is he? What's he like as a leader?
I think he's not afraid to speak his opinion. I think when, you're a starter for a team, I feel like you should have some voice, and I feel like you should be deserved to like be listened to.
Yeah.
Especially when you're in his position where you feel like you can be contributing. You're contributing so much, and you want to see your whole team have the same effort.
Yeah.
And he just works so hard. Guys like that want, like him and Gordo, want to win. Yeah. Like when they were talking about that play they made up, they want to win.
What did they make you? What's that story?
So I heard that when they were, I think it was playing Oregon State or somebody, they had come up with the play. They're like, well, I don't think Leach is gonna like this, but they ran it anyways and they scored on it. And that's just the type of dudes that they like Max and Gordo are. Like Max is just super like, I want to win and I'm gonna do whatever it takes to win. And
so is Gordo.
Yeah, they put in the work to have that voice and opinion.
Really, this is the last question I have, and then we'll open it up if there's anything else. But I don't think people understand the air raid offense very well. I think they just don't understand how much is on a quarterback's plate. You've been in that system. You've run that offense. When you're playing for Mike Leach, I think Kyler Murray's going through this a little bit. How much is on your plate? How many things do you have to be in control of? The line of scrimmage, pre-snap, post-snap. How much is going on in your brain as a quarterback? And if we could just take you through, like, for example, one play, like, what is it like to play quarterback in an air raid offense?
So before I open up about playing in an air raid offense, so our offense in Scuba at East Mississippi, at the beginning of the year in summer, it wasn't supposed to be how it was. We ended up throwing the ball so much. I feel like we were an air raid team at East Mississippi just because of us having
which would it evolved into.
And we were just having to depend on the pass so much. We didn't have a huge run game this year like we have in the past. But going back to an air raid offense, dude, it's so much preparation. It's so, like, from when I started, like my first game, I probably have like 5 pages of notes from a team that we beat 50-0 the year prior, and we ended up losing to them. It's a lot of work, man. You have to be super prepared because typically you have a coach like the Arizona Cardinals coach, Mike Leach, who who trusts you to call your own plays. And audible, like it's pre-snap, it's always like, all right, so I'll give you an example for us. So we ran a lot of twins, out and up, cover 2 beater, but on the backside we had hitches, which is a cover 3 beater. But we would run that play so much and make people's noses bleed from just running that. You're just like, all right, well, he's running outright, they're running cover 2 zone, and oftentimes it's not a really clear cover 2 zone. Like you have like a bus 3 week to the field.
What's that mean?
So it basically, you're running cover 3 shell, but you're buzzing weak, so you're buzzing to the weak side of where the opposite from the running back. So we go right boundary, running back on the right, have the out and up with hitches on the backside. They're gonna buzz 3 weaks. They're gonna buzz left to the field, even though it's not weak, but it's just called weak because it's away from the running back. Then they'll roll to cover 2, and oftentimes they'll have you have the backside corner playing back, rolling up. And then you can't run an out route into that because he's going to jump the out route. So what you do is have your guy run his out route and then sit, like, maybe right as he turns. And then I think that's just kind of what air raid is too. Like, you can't run your basic slants, like,
well, there's a bunch of post-snap
routes.
adjustments, right? There's a bunch of things like, we'll call this play, but based on the coverage, it could end up being 4 or 5 different types of play, right?
Right. And just like from what I saw in our league too, like we had a lot of teams run like a cover 2 base. We called this one defense 4-2 lock, and teams ran this against us. every time we played. And honestly, it was annoying, but it worked. We were able to run through defenses pretty easy. So what they do is, so we'll go. I'll give you an example. Trips left. We're on the right hash. Trips left. Because our outside receivers are so fast and lethal. Yeah. Let's say Jason's on at X. He doesn't play X, but let's say he's at X. They're gonna man to man with him. So everything inside is your cover 4, but it looks like a 2 shell. So 4-2 lock, 4 cover 4, but they're gonna look like have a cover 2 shell with the lock on the X receiver.
Got it.
But everything inside the X receiver is your cover 4 look. So your Mike linebacker will basically have everything else, same responsibilities, except the guys locked on the front receiver. So it's just stuff like that. Like you have to be aware of that. They can also roll to 3, 4, and know what your options are and make a quick decision.
So you have to be on top of every matchup at all the time.
Right, and especially because teams in our air raid, I've seen teams not roll coverage. We had a couple of teams that just ran, I'm going to run cover 2 and just cover 3 and try that. And we have teams that would roll coverage, and you have to be ready for that. It's tough.
What happened in the Apple Cup? I think it was 2 years ago in Seattle with Luke Falk's senior year. Why did you guys lose? What went on there? What did Mike Leach say after the game?
Honestly, I don't remember what he said after the game.
It's a while. It's like 2 years ago now.
It was like 2 years ago, but I was actually watching that at home. But just watching it, just every year, like including that year, just like who wants it more? You know, like are we gonna give effort on the field? Are we not gonna be rattled by a little adversity?
Yeah,
you know, like I feel like in years past when we've played Washington, it's like something happens and I don't know if we get rattled because I never traveled. I'm not gonna act like I knew, but like from
guys get rattled and thrown out. One thing goes wrong,
and it's like
everything spirals out of control.
It's like we're losing to Washington, but like any other game where adversity hits, they're totally fine.
Yeah.
I think
there's a big moment that is like there's some pressure there that the team can't handle.
Yeah, I think it's just a stigma of it just being Washington.
Yeah, like they've lost 6 years in a row, which is like baffling. You're like, what?
Right. Yeah, exactly. We have a team from that Garden with 2 Northwest that we're not rivals, but it's always
Garden
us.
City. Right? Is it Garden City?
No, Northwest Community College.
Got it. Okay, yep.
Yeah, and it's always us or them for the national championship every year, and it's just like that. Like one moment hits, and you're like, oh shoot, like could this like change the game? When you just be like, it's just a regular game. Like take your time and I think, I mean, I always think that the Cougs are gonna win, but I think that with Gordo back there, I think that they can't lose to Washington, in my own opinion.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
He's just got this. I can't wait to watch. You know, that game's happening right now. I'm recording it, obviously.
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch what's happening. I have no idea. It's literally going on as we're speaking.
Yeah.
And I recorded it. I'm like, man, how does Gordo show up? Like, I just cannot wait.
Yeah.
I got one more question, and it's you do not have to answer this, okay? If you think it's a bad idea, don't. My only from the outside looking in, I've always wondered this: does Mike Leach value leadership? I mean, I know that's very like, how can you say that? But I've seen the way he operates, and I just curious, like, from your perspective, is leadership a big deal that he talks about a lot? Does it matter to him?
I don't really see him harping on leadership, but I definitely know for a fact that he loves a guy that takes over and takes control. I think that's actually, I feel like that's why Tyler played a lot more than he should have, because he was such a good leader. Everybody loved him. And when you want to play for a guy that you love, like just someone that is genuine and makes you better or makes you feel like you can be comfortable in your own shoes while he takes care of everything. I think that in Coach Lee just own little 2 cents that he does value leadership, but I don't see him harping on it. But like, you're not going to tell it. There's
no way he doesn't value it.
No, you're not going to tell every quarterback that you value leadership. You want to see which guy's going to step up and actually do it, you know?
Yeah. You shouldn't have to pull it out of a quarterback.
Right. Leadership is either natural or just you don't have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's God-given.
Cool.
Yeah.
Any other thought? Anything you want to add?
No, it's just been so long since I've seen you, man. Like, I remember when we were in your friend's basement.
Yeah, we recorded it. It never came out. We recorded an interview that I never even. I was so bad at editing, I couldn't figure out how to edit it. Literally, like, it's cool how I think we've come a long way. Like,
yeah, definitely so. I was trying to do the whole YouTube thing too,
Yeah.
but I was like, dude, that's so time consuming.
It's so much.
Like I was doing a collab with my friend Clark Hazlitt. I know that you
he went to Linfield. Yeah, he beat the crap out of old school.
Yeah. I'm in a couple of his videos, and we did like a game day collab.
Yeah, that's Adventure Athlete, right?
Athlete. Yeah. And I was just taking videos and like trying to vlog, and I'm like, dude, I can't do this. I just feel so awkward. Like I feel like I can't do the editing myself either. Like that'd be such a pain in the butt. I just respect your craft, especially knowing how football meant so much to you, and like how we went through Elite 11 together.
Yeah.
Like
that's what people don't realize. I've known you since you were a freshman in high school, basically.
No, I think you know me since I was in like 8th grade.
I think so.
Like
Yeah, you're right.
7th, 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember I went into the Elite 11.
Yeah.
Going into my freshman year, like with Sam Darnold, Blake Barnett, Brownlee, all those guys there.
How wild is that? Like to be, I remember like I played catch with Sam Darnold. Like what?
Yeah.
I threw the ball to Sam. I remember like there was this kid who was going to Blake Barnett was going to Alabama, and I was playing catch with Sam, and I was like, man, this guy, this blonde guy, like really tall. I was like, this must be Blake Barnett, right? I had no idea. Lo and behold, it's Sam Darnold. Like I was playing catch with the Jets quarterback like 5 years ago before he was a big deal. I think that was actually the day that Trent Dilfer found him and was like, you're coming to the Elite 11.
Yeah,
like,
because they had another guy, Ricky Town, also coming to USC, who honestly was terrible.
Awful.
He was terrible.
I'll say it. He was awful. I couldn't believe it.
Pretty terrible. And Sam was, I mean, he was a good sized quarterback, had a great arm, but there were a lot of good quarterbacks that day, man. There were so many good guys.
Sam, though, what stood out to me was Sam had this like edge where he just showed up. Like I don't know. It wasn't like vocal. It was just like he rose to the occasion.
It's like a business trip.
Yeah, he's balling.
Basically.
I was like, dang, dude, this guy's got killer and like kind of maybe like you're talking about Anthony Gordon. Like
that killer
instinct.
Yeah. He was super quiet though. Like did not talk to anybody. Just kept to himself. But
I'm here to work.
Yeah, you have an invite to the Elite 11 finals. All right.
One more thing, sweet. If you, I don't know if you were there, if you remember this. It was at the NFTC at University of Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
It was when, oh gosh, who was it? This kid at Evergreen was running and he got jammed into the ground. Do you remember that?
Yes.
It was like a viral video.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah, we were there.
I was playing quarterback on that play, and I was like, "Are you kidding?" I would drop back. I'm like,
"Oh, do you play quarterback on that play?"
I was like, "What do I do here?" Like,
I hate that. Man. I hate when you go to camps and DBs just grab the whole time. Like, that's not going to be a penalty in a game. You know, like it just
it's totally like you can't do that, right? And I remember like it's funny now looking back. I still see that video sometimes where like. The guy he went to Evergreen High School. I played against him in high school. Justice Murphy.
Yes,
that's who it was.
Justice Murphy.
Gets picked up and just jammed into the ground. And I still see that video sometimes. Like, dude, we were there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I think we've seen our fair share of like really weird football moments, especially at camps too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, cool, man. Thank you so much for coming over.
Of course, man.
You know how much it helps me a lot. It really is just it makes my content better. So that means a lot to me.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and hope you have a great day. I mean, thanks for coming.
Yep. Yeah, of course. Anytime, brother.